Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bob's On-Air Tech Talk, BOATT. It's week 3, and the boat is sailing fast, and we've got a fantastic evening. I know you're excited. We have a huge giveaway. Tonight, you can win a phone from Blu, the VIVO 4. So we've got an exciting night. I know you're excited and ready to get started with it. We do this every week. This is Bob's On-Air Tech Talk. When Bob says start, when the clock says Bob. So let's go ahead and get started. Excellent. Well, welcome back, guys. My name is Alvy. I'm kind of your host here this evening, and we've got a whole team of everybody here. We've got Mr. Fred Scholl that is part of the team here at Tech Dissected. Also got Mr. Chuck Haynes, one of our newest members here at Tech Dissected, Cliff Wade, and my co-host Tony Mackey. So let's go ahead and introduce the guys, and then we'll get to Mr. Santiago Cevallos from Blu here in just a moment. So everybody say, hey, Mr. Chuck.
Hey, evening, all.
Hey, Mr. Cliff.
Evening, everybody.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Fred.
Howdy, folks.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, guys?
And our special guest, Mr. Santiago Cevallos from Blu Products. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm great. Definitely happy to be here, be part of this great Google Hangout.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on board. If you would, share just a little bit about yourself and about Blu and your roles with Blu and what you're bringing tonight.
Okay. Well, my name is Santiago Cevallos. I am with Blu Products. We are based here out of Miami, Florida. My title is Technical Account Manager, which basically is it's a role that is not necessarily just sales, but it's more of a product marketing manager type role. But I do go into sales meetings and stuff and give presentations and stuff like that. Hence the title, account manager. But my role is mostly product management, managing the life cycles of the products here at Blu, and yeah, that's basically it. I've been in the industry for about 15 years almost next year, so.
That's awesome. And once again, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And you've got a special announcement for us. We are winning a Blu VIVO 4. Tell us about that phone.
Okay, well, this is one of our newest devices right here. It is the VIVO 4. It is a beautiful, beautiful device. I mean, Tony has actually one of the devices. It's made up of 98% metal and Corning Gorilla Glass. So it is only 5.5 millimeters thin, right? So it is the thinnest smartphone out in the market right now, and it's got an octa-core processor, 16 gigabytes worth of internal memory, 2 gigabytes worth of RAM, and it does come in this beautiful white with silver. There is also white with rose gold and black on black. So that's it. That's the VIVO 4.
And I'm going to say that is a very sexy phone. I like the thin phone. I like white. I got to mess around with Tony's black phone a little bit. That white is beautiful, though. So let me share a little bit with our guys that are watching. If you're watching at home, you have a chance to win a Blu VIVO 4, just like the one Santiago just showed us. Santiago, is it a black, white, gold? Which one are we offering tonight?
You know what? I don't know exactly. If whoever wins it, I'm not saying that we will, but we might let them choose.
Excellent.
I know right now the white and gold has been a hot commodity, so it might not be available. But I'm not at the office right now, and but it's definitely going to be a Vivo 4. So we might let you choose a color, but I have to go back to the office to see exactly which one it is.
That's fine. And either way, whatever color you get, it is a beautiful phone. Works fantastic and great. Tony reviewed it, and if you haven't checked out Tony's review, please go check that out. Video review is up. Tony, your written review will be up on techbyskeptic.com tomorrow. You guys go check that out. But here's how you can win a blue Vivo 4. If you're currently watching, this has to be tonight because we're drawing the name tonight. Inside of the Q&A, inside of this Hangout, just enter that you want to win this blue Vivo 4. Now, preferably, what I'd like you to do is ask a question inside that Q&A. So if you're watching currently, you're watching this Hangout, over there is a Q&A section. Enter that, put your question in there, or at least put in that you want this phone, and at the end of the night, we'll draw one lucky winner for this blue, fantastic blue Vivo 4. Santiago, thanks again for sharing that with us. And here's what I'm going to do tonight. Tony McAfee is our resident blue apostle, which he's our blue apostle is what we call him, because Tony loves blue, and he's kind of drawing the rest of us all into it as well. But Tony has a lot of experience with blue, so he's going to run the evening. So it's going to be the blue show tonight. I'm going to sit back a little bit. I'm going to check out the Q&A. I may interject some questions. But Tony, if you'll go ahead and take the reins, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, first I just want to say, Santiago, if you were talking to somebody who had used, say, a Samsung device or just any of the other flagships, an HTC M8 or Samsung S5 or S4 or something like that, and you were trying to get them over to a blue phone, what would you tell them?
Okay, well, to be honest with you, for the last 2+ years, I actually worked for Samsung as a product manager. So I am definitely a fan of the Samsung brand. I've also been an Apple user because I do my ecosystem in my house is I do have an Apple TV. I have and I use a MacBook Pro. So I have used all platforms. So basically, the way I would say why you should go over or jump over to a blue is definitely we have three things that we call the pillars of our company, right? And what makes our devices, it's going to be design, quality, and price. And as you know, the market, especially in the U.S., it's been most of the world, but now in the U.S. it's starting to convert over to the fact that the carriers no longer want to subsidize devices. So you're going to see and I have AT&T, right? And I have a family plan in which I share a pool of data. So just the fact that I brought my own device, right? Obviously, because everybody of the 5 lines has a blue phone in my family plan. I pay $35 less per line, right? So basically, what it is the carriers no longer want to play the subsidy game, right? And it's one of the reasons why working in the industry for so long and working for manufacturers, people say like, oh, can you get me let's say when I worked for Samsung, they'd be like, oh, can you get me an S4? How much can you get it me for? I was like, well, probably like 500. It's like, what? I can go to AT&T and get it for like 200. And necessarily, people don't understand that that's not what the phone costs. The carrier is actually eating $400 plus of the phone cost in order to grab you for 2 years. So I mean, this is a win-win for the consumer. You can and to answer your question, because I digressed a bit. Blue has great products, and they're basically at half the cost. Yes, not all of them have the Qualcomm chips. We do have our Life Pure XL, which is our flagship device that does have the Snapdragon 800. But let's say this Vivo 4 right here, right? So this right here is running an MTK chip, right? A MediaTek and octa-core, right? Clocked at 1.7. So this right here is a device that I have become very comfortable using. I use both. I have 2 lines. I use the Life Pure XL and I use the Vivo 4. And honestly, I switch back and forth for them, and it's seamless for me. I know one of the complaints that people have had is the LTE support. Honestly, when I had an S4 here in Miami, the fastest I ever got it was to 18 Mbps, right? So, and with these, I'm usually at about a 13. So yes, there's a difference. Yes, it's not LTE, but you have a great product, a beautiful design, and at a great price. So that's definitely, especially for people that like to change over to devices quickly. I would say Blue would probably be for you, because if you want to have a phone for, if you start changing phones, you can upgrade to our newest devices uh, pretty quickly, as they're definitely, they hold their value, and two, they're very, very, very well priced.
Good, very good. Now that's one of the things that I say too.
Can I bug you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Santiago, a few of these questions coming in here. When is KitKat coming for this phone?
Okay, this device right here, it does have KitKat, and let me show it to you guys. KitKat should be here, I would say, no longer than the end of this month. This right here is just a version that we are testing, in order to, that's why I'm using it, to make sure that once we do release KitKat, it is the best version available for the consumer. So I would say probably, and that's pushing it probably end of the month.
Yeah, that's not too bad. And a lot of other questions about the storage. 16 gigabytes. Was that a trade-off for the thinness of the phone? And does it support external SD drives?
It is a trade-off for the thinness of the phone. Honestly, at first when I started working for Blue, it's something that at first it irked me, but then it kind of led me to think to a different way. So now I use my Dropbox a lot. I use my Google Drive. So there's different ways that if I really want to store different things, I either throw it on my Dropbox. For music, I use a lot Spotify. And I download some playlists, and then the ones that I don't, or if I want to do my Spotify radio, I just I let it go with my data, because I have a big pool of data. So.
Well, and one thing that isn't noted a lot. I mean, I've read one or two little hands-ons with the at VIVO 4, and nobody's noted this except my review. This is actually USB on-the-go compatible. This and the LifePure XL, meaning if you have something like the Kingston Data Traveler Micro Duo or a USB on-the-go cable, I'm trying to find my, there we go, my little thumb drive here. You can actually take the thumb drive and open it up and just plug it right into the USB slot, and then you've got your external storage. And that actually works stock with the stock file explorer, no problem. I mean, and the stock file explorer on this thing is really great also, because it will automatically just open it up and show you everything that's on your USB drive. So really good option, especially when you don't have expandable storage, because I always have this on me anyway. So all my pictures, all my music that I might need, right there.
While we're talking about storage, Samsung's always, they're always talking about the bloat for Samsung. What's the usable space on the base install, or just out of the box?
For which one? Because I mean, let's see.
The VIVO, the 16.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out. Because this one is, I haven't put anything on this one yet. It is. It's about 12.31.
That's pretty good out of the box.
12 gigs. Yeah. And if you guys don't mind, I'm actually looking at some of the Q&A because they're flying by. There's somebody put, where is it? Anyway, somebody asked, how can you afford to put such great specs? Are you guys losing money? Right, yeah, how did you manage to put great specs but such a low cost? Are you guys losing money? No. We're definitely not losing money because nobody's in the business to lose money, right? Truth of the matter is, a lot of these big manufacturers, they're charging definitely double, sometimes 3 times what it costs to manufacture a phone. I believe there was a report on what it cost to to make the S5, and I believe it was $256, right? And it was like, oh my God, that's insane, so high. But when you realize that's definitely more than double than what you charge at retail, right? So what is it, like $650, $700 for actually probably 700 above because it's 32 gigs. So it's if you look at it that way, it's no, we're not losing money, but we also don't have the margins that those big companies have, because what we do is we pass it on to the consumer, and what that does is it's a win-win, right? Because for us, we obviously sell more handsets, and then two, we win the hearts of the consumer.
No, that's good. That's really good. Hey, something else I'm seeing a lot of in there, Santiago. How rootable? How is the bootloader unlocked? A lot of our people are interested in that. How easy is this to mess around with?
For the most part, it's a vanilla Android, right? But there is a launcher on there called the Navi launcher which gives it this look and feel, right? So it's very easy. Obviously, manufacturers don't ever condone that because they want you to use what it comes with. You know, they want you to have the experience that we want you to have, the experience that we want, that we're putting on there. But obviously, we know for the people that are on here, you guys like to customize your phone, so it's pretty easy.
So is the bootloader unlockable?
You know what? I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
On the Vivo 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one.
Okay. Have we lost Tony? My co-host is gone. Oh, my goodness. And, hey, by the way, let me stall a little bit and remind everybody, we are giving away a blue Vivo 4 tonight. A lot of stuff going on over here in the Q&A, and that's great. You guys keep it up. Keep asking questions. We'll keep asking Santiago from Blue all these questions as we get to them. And you don't have to have your question answered or even brought up to win this phone. It'll be a random draw at the end of this chat. So stay tuned. You have to be present to win. We'll call your name, and if you're around, you win the phone. So stay around, and let's look at some more questions. Chuck, Cliff, or Fred, do you guys have any questions for Mr. Santiago?
I do. Santiago, quick question about where is the product actually manufactured? Is it overseas? Is there any of it done here in the USA? You know, like Motorola, they had a big plant in Texas that is unfortunately shutting down here at the end of the month. Do y'all have anything, since y'all are based here in the USA? Where do y'all do all the manufacturing?
If you look at the back of our phones, and most of them, what they say is designed in Miami and assembled in China. It's another reason why we can afford to make such easy to obtain phones at such great prices. Is that obviously that's where every manufacturer, you know, your iPhone, your Samsung, obviously Samsung manufactures in Brazil, they manufacture in China, and then some of it in Korea, obviously, and then HTC they all do in China, and so they are all produced in China.
Very cool.
I had a question along, I guess, similar lines, actually from the QA. Someone wanted to know, is there anywhere they can go to a brick and mortar store and actually get their hands on any of your line that they could kind of see, feel, play with?
You know, that's one of the biggest things. It's when I came on here on with Blue, it was our U.S. presence was starting to get really big. So what right now is we have a pilot store, our pilot program. It's not really pilot anymore. Best Buy loves us. We're in their unlocked section, and it was only in 28 stores, and it should be in all 600. That's hopefully by beginning of Q4. I'm thinking I want a Q3, but let's say to be safe Q4. So Best Buy, obviously Amazon.com, you can get it. That's one of the things that I realized. So there's people want to touch and feel it. I know in the West Coast there's Fry's. Fry's carries our product. Here in the East Coast there's a retailer called BrandSmart. They carry our products as well. So as of now, nationwide, it'll probably be Best Buy. There's also Micro Center in they're in Ohio, Micro Center, and there's Meyer in Michigan. So that's it for now. But soon it should be in Best Buy, so where everybody can feel and buy them.
All right. I'm going to ask because I'm a Verizon user. Are you guys ever planning to go to Verizon or GSM only?
GSM only.
All right.
Yeah, GSM only. I don't see any need. Verizon's got a great network, obviously, but they decided to stick. They obviously are LTE, and I believe, I don't know if they are now yet, if they are VoIP LTE or voice over LTE, excuse me. But yeah, no, because CDMA is just it's not worth it. It basically just be in the U.S. and then we don't really sell in China, so yeah, no.
Well, I'll ask this one just in case anybody is wondering, and I don't know if it popped up in the Q&A yet, but and you talked to me about this on our own, but I know a lot of people are wondering about the relationship between Blu and Gionee. Gionee, the Asian manufacturer, more in India, because the Blu Vivo 4 is obviously the Gionee eLife S5.5, and then the Life Pure XL is the eLife E7. And actually, to find cases, I was able to find cases for the Vivo and for the Life Pure XL, but I had to search under the Gionee names because that's the only ones I could find. They're shipped from China. What is the relationship? Just kind of break it down in a way that our viewers can understand. And
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Basically, we co-develop the devices with Gionee. Excuse me. And we just basically have different regions in which over here it's our region. So since we co-develop it, we do Blu is the Americas, and then in India and China it's under the Gionee name. But we are not the same company. We are separate companies, but we co-develop. We have co-R&D with them.
Very cool. And that's probably a good way to keep costs down a little bit too, because you have two times the power working on the same devices.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
I said that's probably a good way to keep costs down too, because you have 2 times the power working on the same devices.
Absolutely. And if you look at the Vivo 4 and the Pure XL, which you mentioned, those devices have some great hardware, some great design, and it's definitely I mean, you've seen the Vivo 4, Tony. It's a work of art. So
it is amazing. Now, before we
real quick, are y'all gonna do any promotions with Dropbox? Or we kind of touched on that earlier, but will there be anything where if we go like to Micro Center or Best Buy and buy a device, will we get 50 gigabytes of Google Drive storage or Dropbox storage or anything like that?
There isn't anything in the works, but I mean, there isn't anything for now, but I'm not going to deny that there isn't anything in the works either.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily just about Dropbox or Google Drive, but there's some good stuff in order to have some value-added services for the consumer.
Gotcha.
That's good. Hey, Tony, you briefly mentioned it. You guys share a little bit. A few people are asking about it. Cases and accessories for the Blu Vivo 4.
Okay, we just released the Vivo 4 recently. One of the value-added services that we add is that we do add a case and a screen protector with most devices. But we are, as of I believe 2 to 3 weeks ago, we have started our accessory line. We know it's definitely very important. So soon, I would say within a month, you'll be able to access the cases and different accessories for these devices.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah. Oh, well, and that's really good because somebody's going to win this Blu Vivo 4 tonight, so they're really ahead of the curve, and they're really ahead of everything. But don't worry, there's stuff coming out. KitKat's coming out by the end of the month. Accessories are on the way. So this is an awesome phone and a really great giveaway. I can just say thank you so much from Blu for working with Tech Dissected on giving something awesome to our viewers.
Yeah, definitely.
Great, you're welcome.
And I just can't stress, guys, enough. I mean, everybody who's watching, I can't stress enough how, and I've said it in my articles, probably every article I've written about Blu, I've said it. It's such a classy thing to open up. I mean, okay, companies have been focusing on how to, get you a better unboxing experience on devices ever since the original iPod. We've been trying to figure out a way to make it better from the time you open the box the first time and look at the device. And I can't stress how classy it is to open it up and you have a screen protector, you have a case, because I remember from the time I started using touchscreen phones, I'm trying to have screen protectors and cases delivered before the device even gets there. And that's even more torture for somebody who loves the device, because now you're just drooling over this thing you're looking at and you're like, why can't I just have the device now? But I want them all there at the same time. So having that all in that box, it just blew me away when I opened the Life Pure Mini, I think, and it just blew me away when I found out that what you were including something right in the box that really ought to be included for every device. I mean, it's really silly that it's not included for other companies. But Samsung, they're going to try to get that extra $50 out of you for their case. HTC, they're going to try to get that $49.99 for their dot view case. They just want you to spend more money. And I love that Blu. I mean, even with the Life Pure XL, have you used this at all? The case stand. I thought I would not have a use for this. I thought it was awesome that you guys included it. This is a little, for anybody who doesn't know, this little kickstand kickstand that goes on the back of your Life Pure XL, just to set it up. I thought it's a neat idea that they're including it, but I probably will never put it in my pocket. Well, you know what? I don't, but it sits on my desk, and now whenever I'm at my desk, I just pop it on the back there and prop it up right next to my computer. It works as a little desk clock. Fantastic. I mean, I'm just so impressed with the fact that you guys are trying to figure out what else to include.
Santiago, if you haven't figured it out, Tony is a huge Blu fan.
Yes, and we appreciate it very much.
Yeah. All right, here's some battery life. A lot of people are asking about battery life. What's it like?
It's a 2300 milliampere battery. It's definitely well, the screen is a HD Super AMOLED, right? Full HD. So it does suck up a lot of the battery life. On this one, I mean, my coworker, because I haven't fully used it, I go back and forth, so I couldn't give you a firm, like, this is what it does. What it does for me, because I go back and forth from my Pure XL and the VIVO, is his lasts a full day, right? Let's say, when I say a full day, the work day, which is from 9 in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night, and then you go home and you stick it on the charger. So I would say you have a good full 8 to 10 hours of battery life on it for somebody that uses it a lot. If you're using your social networking services, you're taking pictures and so on and so forth.
Well, I think for everybody, the test is screen time. Tony, what are you getting screen time on it?
On the VIVO?
Yeah.
On the VIVO, I've seen it was like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 hours. It's 3 to 4 hours, I think, of screen on time, and that's, now mind you, when you're getting that 3 to 4 hour screen on time, you're talking somewhere between about 10 12 hours of just being off the charger, but still 3 to 4 hours screen off time for a 2300 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Especially considering this device is a Super AMOLED display, and it does not have a dark theme. So you normally on a Super AMOLED display, you'd ideally want a dark theme because that'll save a lot of battery life. But it does not have any kind of special dark theme, and it's still this is the settings menu, so it's still pumping really good battery life out of this 2300 milliamp hour battery. Better than the Nexus 5, which it's the exact same battery that's in the Nexus 5. So very, very impressed with the battery life on it.
No, that's good. And let me remind everybody, we're halfway through our show here tonight. You can win a Blu VIVO 4 from Santiago tonight here on our show in Tech Dissected. Here's how you do that. And if you're watching this live, as we are now, because we're going to draw it tonight, in the Q&A section, ask us a question. Ask Santiago a question, or at least put in there that you want this phone. We will draw a name randomly tonight for a Blu VIVO 4. Just wanted to remind everybody in case you came on late. So let's get right back to it. Tony, Fred, Cliff, or Chuck, any questions for Santiago?
Yeah, let's see. There's a couple in the QA here. There's a couple people asking about NFC. Does the Vivo 4 or any of your devices have NFC?
The Life Pure XL does have NFC in it. The Vivo 4 does not, but the Life Pure XL does, which is why we've included three, I guess what it's called, like the stickers where you can tap it and you can turn on the Wi-Fi or do whatever it is that you want to do with it.
So for some of the, I think I've seen this in the QA too. For some of the more geeky people, MediaTek, not the greatest when it comes to releasing sources. I'm assuming you guys probably release kernel sources. Have you guys had any issues with getting the source you need from MediaTek for any kernel-related stuff, or have you thought about maybe moving more of the Qualcomm route because they're a little bit more open than MediaTek is?
They are a little bit more open. But we definitely like what MediaTek is doing. I know for like you were saying, the geeky types, they want to be able to have a little bit more access. But MediaTek, what they do for us is they provide a great chip at a great price. So that right there is, once again, with the price thing, it hits our three pillars, right? The quality, price, and design.
Well, I would like to see more Qualcomm, and I think that's because, I mean, in general, when you see a Qualcomm device, you know LTE is coming. You guys have the Studio 5, right, which is LTE capable right now, and I'm hoping to see more LTE capable, but unfortunately, we just don't see that much with MediaTek processors. And I know that the Life Pure XL, I mean, this phone is just fantastic. I mean, it's so nice and it runs really well. This has got the Snapdragon 800 in it, so that's also a Qualcomm. So are we looking at another generation of devices primarily run with MediaTek, or are we going to be looking forward to a few more Qualcomm devices?
I would definitely say a mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like you guys say, though. There's a blue for you.
Yeah, exactly. There's a blue for you. I would definitely say it's going to be a mix of products. As we're not married to anybody. We just want or maybe we're probably married to the consumer because you guys are what makes us keep going, right? So we just want to make the devices and keep the price low. I mean, the Life Pure XL that you have in your hand, that phone is retailing for $399, right? And so you have the Snapdragon 800 chip, you have a 16 megapixel back camera, right? And you have an 8 megapixel front camera with autofocus, right? It's just amazing. 32 gigabytes worth of internal memory, a 5.5 inch full HD screen for under $400. That's just what we want to do. We want to make good devices. There's for people at a great price, because that's really what will keep coming back, right? Quality and price and design too, because people obviously want to have something pretty in their hands.
Oh yeah. And just to mention to everybody who's watching, if you haven't watched the Vivo 4, the Vivo 4 full review, video review we did, it published tonight. If you haven't watched it yet, get on there and look at it. That video was shot entirely with the Life Pure XL. There was a little bit that was just a hangout between Alvy and I, but all the video you see of the Vivo 4 was shot with this phone right here, and it is fantastic. It's probably a little compressed because it's on YouTube, but this phone, absolutely best camera I've ever used, and I've reviewed the M8, the Galaxy S5, 100% better.
Santiago, couple questions, going to roll them into one. One of them is, what distinguishes Blu from everybody else out there, such as Motorola, Samsung, all the big guys, all the little guys, and compare something like the Vivo 4 to something like the Motorola Moto G, kind of where the price points are very, very similar. What sets the Vivo 4 apart from a Moto G? Why would I want the Vivo 4 over that?
Well, definitely the design. It's you can't really compare that phone when it comes to design to that. The Moto 4G is a great phone. It is, and it's basically Motorola coming back because they realize that companies like us are having actually I don't really see anybody else like us that have the type of quality that we do, that are and they're trying to, I'm not going to say mimic, but I would say definitely we open their eyes that the consumer wants to have a good phone at a lower price, especially with, like I said, with the carriers no longer want to subsidize devices.
So while we're talking about what makes Blue different, you know, the Moto X, especially in a lot of the Android world with its active notifications, touchless control, was kind of seen as like a super revolutionary phone. Do you guys kind of have any special software features up your sleeve, maybe you can talk about, and maybe coming up in the future or even right now, that kind of differentiates you guys from a, you know, just a standard Android experience?
Well, if you look at the Vivo 4 and the Light Pure XL, it does have some. It for the most part, like I was saying, it does have vanilla Android, but there is a launcher on top of it that gives the user another experience. There are things that we are working on, obviously, but as for now, that's basically the only thing. As we like to keep it light. We like to keep it with not too much bloatware on it, so that's kind of our thing.
In this day and age of his skins, I'm good with that. I like light. All right. Well, I know I want to I haven't seen it in the QA, but I want to personally ask. You guys have one tablet right now. Do you guys have plans for any more tablets? You know, I'm really looking for a good Android tablet. And since I'm on Verizon, unfortunately, I can't get a Blue phone. I'm interested in tablet, though. So do you guys have any kind of future tablet plans?
We do have a tablet that just came out, but it is something that maybe the users that are watching this this Hangout, it probably wouldn't for them, because it's a 7-inch tablet, and it retails for about $125. So it's a lower end tablet. So yes, but not anything with high end specs. I mean, we released the Live View tab a couple months ago, which was made out of a full aluminum housing, 8-megapixel camera in the back, 5 in the front, HD resolution, but not. That's where we are for now with tabs. We're basically concentrating on phones.
Hey, Santiago, we've got somebody in the Q&A asking, how warm does this phone get under ordinary usage, under a standard load?
It does. I mean, I have felt it. It gets warm, but it's nothing that it's unbearable. It definitely does get hot because, I mean, if you see it, it is a thin phone, and it is an octa-core processor, so there's definitely it is going to generate heat, but nothing that you have to hold it away from your hand or your head. Excuse me.
Hey, Santiago, someone else asked. I know you said KitKat is coming probably at the end of the month or so, but how will you deal with updates in the future?
Say that one more time.
They mentioned that you mentioned earlier that KitKat is coming by the end of the month or thereabout. The question is how will you deal with updates going into the future? You know.
Okay, so a lot of the updates obviously has to do with the chip, right? With what processor it has. That's something that we realized that that the consumer is very important to the consumer. So we're definitely gonna get them as fast as possible. This device here was released with the Vivo 4 was released with Jelly Bean, and then within the month we already put it to KitKat. Same thing with the Life 8. The Life 8 is about to be released, and sorry, it is released. So with that one, we're also giving it KitKat quickly. So we're definitely getting on the ball with that because we know it's important to the consumer.
Very cool. Very cool.
how long do you guys support your phones as far as updates go? Do you guys have like a standard timeline where you guys will release updates for your phones?
No, we do it. It's on a phone by phone basis, but we definitely we try to do just like about 12 to 18 months.
And Tony, you guys mentioned it a little bit. The cameras on it, you were impressed with the front-facing camera on that. Santiago and Tony, should you guys share a little bit about the cameras on your phones?
Why don't you take that off, Santiago, first? I'm working on something over here. I will jump in, though.
So the question is, talk about the cameras on. So let's talk about the Live Pure XL, right? So the camera that was put on the Live Pure XL is, like I said, a 16 megapixel. But what separates it from every other camera is usually when you're taking let's say okay, let's use the S4, right? So or the S5 and the iPhone, right? So they both have cameras, and then the pixel is about 1.2 microns big, 1.12, right? Or on the S5, right? It's 1.12 and it's a 16 megapixel. What we did is make the quality of each pixel better. So it's actually 1.34 microns big, right? So right there is not only can you blow it up, because it's a lot because it's a 16 megapixel camera. It's also the quality of the pixel. And then in the front one is, like I said, it's an 8 megapixel with autofocus. So it's especially now that selfies are so big, it's one of the reasons we wanted to say, hey, let's go to the next level. We were putting 5 megapixel cameras on it, but we took with the Live Pure XL, we took it to the next level and put an 8 megapixel on it.
That's excellent, and yeah, and I've seen it. That front-facing camera is it's definitely different and better than almost anything else out there.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey. All right, Santiago, while we're talking about hardware, let's talk about speakers. One of the questions on here, how does the speaker compare? Is it a rear-facing speaker, front-facing speaker? What have you got on it?
On which one?
Let's go Vivo 4, but talk about the rest of your phones too.
Okay. Well, the Vivo 4 has a rear speaker. Obviously, usually people, when they're listening to music, they put it down. On the Live Pure XL, it is on the bottom. So it definitely depends on the device. On these two devices, we use DTS technology in order to give it a nicer feel, especially for people that like to quote unquote bump music from their phone without headphones. So on that one, it's rear, like I said, and on the Live Pure XL, it's on the bottom.
Okay, very good.
Santiago, tell us about the warranty on. I'm guessing you probably have the same warranty across all devices. I know something really big that's just been mentioned here in the last couple of days, something that I've done myself, actually, I just got mine today, is Motorola gives you a chance to replace your device. A lot of people are confused that if the screen's broken, and that's not the case. It's pretty much if you have any issue with your phone at all, you report it, they will give you a code, you can customize a brand new one, and they will send it to you within a couple of weeks whenever the stock is ready. What kind of warranty do you have out of the box on your phone? And along the same lines, if I have my device for 5 months and there's some kind of issue maybe with the camera or whatever, how easy is it for me to get it replaced or fixed or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's your standard 12-month warranty, right? So if something goes wrong, we'll definitely replace it for you, right? But if you throw it in water, we're not going to replace it for you. But it's your standard 12-month warranty.
Okay, so basically, I mean, what would somebody need to do to be able to do that? Is it as simple as, like with Motorola, I mean, it was as simple as filling out basically a Q&A on their website, and it was handled within just a matter of hours.
Yeah, no, it's that's definitely very impressive, but it definitely depends who you buy from, right? So if you buy it through Amazon, within the first 30 days they'll take care of it. If not, you send it back to us, and we'll either send you it fixed or a brand new one.
Very cool.
Question on the launcher and I guess the OS in general. Is the Vivo 4 the only one with your custom launcher, or do they all have that same launcher on them?
No, it's right now it's the Vivo 4, the Live Pure XL, and the Live Pure and the Live Pure Mini are the only ones that have that launcher on it.
Okay. Now, did you guys bake that launcher into the OS, or is that a separate app you guys can update via like the App Store or something like that?
No, you can't do it. It's not necessarily baked into the OS because I kind of had the same question myself, and I was when I was using the Live Pure. It took me a bit to get used to it, but now I actually like it, and I use it on the Live Pure XL. And I was running the Nova launcher on it on the Live Pure, and it was very fluid still, and so there was no problem. So it's the fact that there is a launcher on there. There's no problem.
Now, it looks like a lot of your apps are stock apps. So for any of the custom apps you guys have, the launcher, stuff like that, do you guys have any plans maybe in the future to update those via the Play Store? I mean, that's kind of becoming kind of popular these days for lots of updates to come through the Play Store instead of necessarily like new firmware updates. There is talks with that with our tech department, but there is nothing confirmed yet.
Santiago, is there any kind of water resistant or water, what's the other word I'm looking for? Waterproofing, any kind of protection from splashing or anything like that on any of your devices, not just the Vivo 4, but specifically the Vivo 4, but any others?
Yeah, we did have a device called the Tank 4.5, which was had the IP67 certification, right? Which is basically what the S5 has or the S4 Active have. So no, as of now, any devices that we have except for the Tank 4.5, there isn't.
Gotcha.
Someone wanted to know with the Blue launcher, are widgets still supported on that launcher? You know, they look like there was icons all the icons on the screen. Can you still add third-party widgets and stuff to the launcher?
On the Vivo 4, no. No.
I didn't think that was odd because the Vivo and the Live Pure XL, but they both have that Amigo launcher on it, and they that or Navi launcher, I'm sorry, is what it's called. So it doesn't support widgets, but some of the stock apps do have widgets built in. So even though the stock launcher that comes on the phone doesn't support widgets, if you download a third-party launcher, you do still have your music widget, you do still have your photo gallery widget that's baked into Android 4.2.2. It's all that stuff is still there. So it doesn't actually limit what you do. It's just on that stock launcher there.
I'm sorry, I think I lost you there.
Did everybody hear what I said?
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought that was a question towards me. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying that in my experience, I was just reassuring everyone that, yes, you still do have your Android widgets if you install another launcher.
Oh,
but
yes.
The launcher that comes on, it doesn't support those widgets. The only widget is that weather and clock widget at the top.
All right, well, I did have one more question. So if you could build your perfect phone, all right, what would it be, spec-wise, that kind of stuff, out of curiosity?
You know what? Honestly, one of the reasons why we're also successful is that technology is kind of reaching a ceiling, and unless you're giving me something that I can wear, a wearable that's actually works well, or it's something embedded in me. The technology is you're just gonna get more megapixels, you're gonna get more memory. So as of right now, I mean, I wish I could have the Live Pure XL with 128 gigabytes of memory. That's basically it. I don't need anything more than that. And even at that, like I said, I've learned to handle using Dropbox and Google Drive. So right now, the Live Pure Excel is my phone, and I love it, and I really don't. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to switch over to completely to the Vivo 4, even though I do have 2 lines. Is the fact that I just the Live Pure Excel is just such a great device, and 5 inches is nice, right? But 5.5 inches is just a little bit better, just because of the size, and I've gotten used to it.
What phone did you have when you worked for Samsung?
The last one I had was a Note 3.
The Note 3. Okay, so the Note 3. Now you've gone down. What is that? Like 0.2?
0.2.
How big is the Note 3 screen?
0.2. Yeah, it's 5.7.
So
5.7 and 5.5.
Now, what I noticed is I actually have on one of my articles, I have a size comparison between this and a Galaxy S5, and this phone is literally, aside from being a little bit more square, I think it's got like maybe 1 centimeter up on the Galaxy S5, but other than that, you've got almost an inch bigger screen onto basically the same size device. And that is impressive to me. So that 5.5 inch screen is awesome, but you're still even holding a device that is totally usable still with one hand.
You had mentioned wearables. Alvy, I'm going to go off topic, so just mute me if I go too far. But what's your thought on wearables, Android wearables versus anything else? What are you excited about it? Looking forward to it? Don't care about it?
I have a couple Galaxy Gears sitting in my drawer, and it's nice. And it's cute, but right now it's just kind of an extra thing that I don't see it. I mean, listen, they work nicely to a certain degree, but for you to be spending that much money, I think on something else, I'd rather get a phone with more specs than actually add a wearable to it. I don't know. I just don't think wearables are where they need to be right now.
No, that was a good question, Chuck. It's okay. All right, hey guys, we are pretty much at the end of our show, so let me wrap up some things before we pick our winner here. First off, let me say a huge thank you to Santiago Cevallos from Blu Products. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And before we draw a winner here, Santiago, will you do me a favor? Will you show off that phone one more time and tell everybody what they're going to get in the box when they win this thing?
Okay, so this is the Vivo 4, right? You're looking at the back. Like I said, it's 98% glass and metal. So you're gonna get the phone. You're gonna get a plastic case that goes on it, a screen protector, your USB charger, and obviously the cable that connects to the USB charger, the micro USB. Excuse me.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, so here's how this is going to work, guys. We've used a random number generator to select a winner here. I'm going to announce that here in a minute, but here's the deal. You have to be present to win. So after we announce the name here, I'm going to need you to, in the Q&A, say, yes, I'm here. I can verify that I'm listening and verify that I'm here. We'll give you a few minutes because I know it takes a second with internets and all that kind of stuff. But can I get a drum roll, please? Our winner of the Blu Vivo 4 is Steve R. Congratulations, Steve. Yeah, all right. So here's what I need you to do, Steve. Hopefully you're still here and you're still watching us. In the Q&A, send us a little message real quick and let us know that you are still here and that you are ready to win, and then we'll get with you on how to claim your prize. So while that's going on, let me thank our residents here. Mr. Chuck Haynes, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure as always.
Excellent. Mr. Cliff, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Always glad to be here with all of y'all. Santiago, thank you hugely for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a blast, and really the time flew. I wish we could stick around for another hour, but Santiago, I know your time is valuable, so I didn't want to keep you any longer than we needed to. And Mr. Fred, thank you so much for chiming in some too tonight.
Thank you, Alvy. Always a pleasure.
Excellent. And Mr. Tony McAfee, my co-host, thank you so much for sharing responsibilities. There's a lot going on over here and all the stuff on our end. So thank you, Tony, for helping me with all that tonight.
Not a problem.
All right. So,
well, if he's not here, we may have to go back to our second pick here.
that's right. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Sorry, Steve. We'll give you. How about a little 5-second countdown, everybody? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Darn.
Oh, Steve, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this later in the week, bud, you had your chance, and I missed it. But don't worry, don't fret. We still have a second place.
Oh, he's here. Alvy, he's here. He just
good. Okay, excellent. Steve, it is yours. Congratulations, my friend.
Nice.
We didn't lose you. We didn't leave you out. So excellent. Cliff and Tony, can I get with you guys and trust that you'll get with Steve R. on how to collect his prize?
I will definitely take care of it.
Excellent. Thank you, Cliff. Congratulations, Steve. I'm so glad that you. I'm glad we gave you your 5-second countdown. So congratulations on all that. And once again, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much. And you got to hear a lot from Santiago from Blue and a lot of our comments and thoughts. And you shared a bunch of questions. So thank you so much for joining us this week. And you got to hear our comments and thoughts. But we want to know yours. This will be available on YouTube later in the evening, actually, and tomorrow and all the rest of the week. So we want to hear your thoughts. If you've got some more questions that weren't asked, ask them. Leave a question, a comment down below in the comments, and let us know who you'd like to see on a future episode of BOATT, Bob's On Air Tech Talk. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to click subscribe. Check us out every Thursday at 8:08. Bob says start when the clock says Bob. So once again, thanks to all my guests. Thanks to Tech Dissected Locals. Thanks to Santiago Cevallos from Blue. And thank you guys so much for watching. With that, good night.
Hmm.